Welcome back. Lowell Thomas, one of my favorite people, actually probably one of the most brilliant people I have on the show, who's been an author for Reader's Digest, think tanks, the U.S. government, an author with Greg Smith, and a number of books. I think this is the seventh in your series, and you offer it free. Money, Morality, and the Machine. And of course, I want to, before we even get going, how did they get the book? Because there's an 800 number. If they get it, they can get it for Christmas. And I think you're even sending some additional reports. It's 800-630-1492, right? But what's in this package? And they get the book. They get, I guess, some additional documents, and they get it all free, including shipping.
We're not selling this to anybody. It's all free, so I don't even want to call it a package. But it's a 250-page book. It reads like a novel, even though it has a lot of mind-boggling information that could be very helpful to your family.
Right.
We also have a new white paper out called China's Secret War, going into the secret battle that China is fighting us with economically. Do most Americans realize that if you have a federal pension, part of it is probably invested in Chinese companies? If you have private pensions or private benefits, part of that is probably invested in Chinese companies.
And by the way, that was done through our district of criminals, too. That's where Congress and senators, I call Congress critters and Senate critters, that actually corruptly got kickbacks by doing that with corporations over the last 30 years and last 25 years that the WTO has allowed China in to actually invade our business and steal over 60,000 factories. Have gone, many of them to China, but China is ticking off a lot of the corporations by the way they behave with people, too. Please continue.
Well, we lay out the whole picture of how China is operating and the kind of threats they represent to us. So it's a fascinating read, and that's free, too. So just ask for the China paper and the book Money, Morality, and the Machine, and we'll send you both of them for free. The toll-free number, as I said, the only thing you need to know to get this, it's not going to cost you a penny, is 800-630-1492, like the year Columbus sailed the ocean blue, as you said. So we'll repeat that before the show is over. But lots and lots to talk about. Probably the most important news of all, Time magazine, which almost doesn't even exist anymore, has picked its Person of the Year. Now, you might have thought they were going to pick the whistleblower or some other important person whose name you don't even know. But no, they did worse than that. They picked a 16-year-old girl named Greta Thunberg.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
A person who is reportedly suffering from Asperger's syndrome, which is a type of autism, from obsessive-compulsive disorder, from selective mutism, and other mental oddities, let's say. I won't call her mentally ill, but she is not exactly like you or me.
No, she's mentally ill.
She complains about the U.S. endlessly as a cause of global warming, doing damage and killing people all over the planet. But she has never in her travels wanted to go to China, even though China is the single biggest polluter on the planet, by far.
That's because she's directed by her parents. They're avataring her. She's like a video game, which is abusive, to be honest with you. Because you take an Asperger child, you have to remember these children generally have decreased activity of their frontal executive active. They have more activity of they call the reptilian or the basal brain parts of their brain. If you do a quantitative electroencephalogram, it's not normal. If you look at organic acid, it's not normal. If you look at their blood-brain barrier, it's been damaged a lot of time by vaccines and by other things, but vaccines are the biggie. And when you take a child like this and you feed them false information about the environment, and I've heard some of the things she said which are plainly not science. They're a form of what I call apostate enviro-religious dogma by this new dogma thing. And this is pushed by AOC and other morons that don't understand the environment. Now, I'm a charter member, founding member of Greenpeace almost 50 years ago with Patrick Moore, and I'm going to get him on the program because I was an environmental oceanographer before I went into medicine.
Patrick Moore, who has also seen the light since then.
What's that now?
Patrick Moore, who has also seen the light since then.
Well, I saw him on Fox News, and he doesn't believe in the foolishness that these people say. Yeah, here, let me give you a little summary of the environment. Firstly, we've already reduced the smokestack production of pollutants in America, which if we force other nations, we have trade agreements to do the same thing. Any pollution coming out of there will stop, because the danger to that pollution is not only to the physical population, but other plants and living things, and particularly to the benthic layer, phytoplankton in the upper 30 meters of the ocean that generate 80% of the world's oxygen. Without oxygen, you can't have an ozone layer because you need oxygen, ultraviolet light from the sun, and you need a magnetosphere, which is, by the way, weakening. So we need to start working on technology to strengthen the Earth's magnetosphere. What's going on now, we have morons that want to do carbon capture or Project Scopex. I spent an entire evening on March of 1997 with Dr. Isley, who's a physicist, founder of the World Constitution Parliament Association, gave me their Federation of Earth documents that's in the United Nations from these 57 plus nations have already signed up to this damn thing. And he told me foolishness about wanting to do carbon capture for environment. And I had to dress him down. He thought he was a real genius. Let me tell you, if you think you know stuff, have the intellectual cojones to come on my show live and call in 818-818-6401, and I'm going to do an intellectual vivisection. It's going to hurt like hell. Because if you say something stupid on my show, you're going to get cut up. Now, if you say something smart, I don't care if you got grade 11 or not, if you've ever gone to college and you've got an experience or whatever, and you can make a statement and train me. But when you say something stupid like Greta Thunberg and any other viral maniac who's got what we call apostate dogma, we can fix everything. There should be total recycling of everything. There should be no landfills anywhere. Everything should be converted to little microbeads, metal and plastics and so on in a warehouse if you want it. We should have enviro tubes that already transport materials to a recycling site so that if you want it, it's actually in factories. You want to order so many beads to print a product in your garage, which you have a 3D printer in your garage. Guess what? You order the beads, we deliver a little package, you drop it in the machine, boom, the part pops out. That's the future. This idea that we have an environmental problem is created on purpose so they can control a population. It has nothing to do with really controlling the ecosphere. These people are enviro-banco-maniacs that want to kill much of us, destroy the Earth by cutting out the carbon by reflecting the sunlight up into space. It drives me so nuts. I'm sorry I'm losing it a bit now, but you got to understand here, people, when they put Greta Thunberg, this Asperger child that's a moron, avatared by her freaking parents, and the enviromaniacs that want to kill 90% of us, I'm getting nauseated right now. I mean, honest to God.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
You should
I think you had to do this.
You haven't seen photographs of her. Understand, she's like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, only instead of being telegenic, she looks like a troll who lives under a German.
Well, she's got a squinty-eyed look, like she's almost crying, but just like really frustrated that we don't just do everything she says. And she's like an automaton, like a wind-up toy of Lucifer there on screen. It's disgusting. So Time put her face on there. Oh my gosh. The kid is being abused.
Well, again, I'm not even sure Time exists as a print magazine anymore. I don't really see it anywhere.
Right.
But it exists online. I mean, it's largely collapsed because it's taken so many left-wing positions that no one pays attention to it anymore.
Well, they're not even left-wing, to be honest with you. See, I believe in dialogue. I don't believe in left-right. For example, my healthcare plan goes way beyond some of the aspects of socialism, but it doesn't want top-down control. I don't want forced vaccines. I don't want toxic electro pollution from 5G network. I don't want the government deterring protocols of what's optimal health care so that your doctor can't use you remember the medicine is an art based on science. I mean, the art of medicine, if someone's really better at it, just like a painting, is going to do a better job than some other moron that's going to follow a protocol, right?
Right.
So what I see happening is pure evil Luciferic insanity, and unfortunately this kind of stuff. Okay, please continue. I lost it there for a minute, but I'm back. I'm composed. Man, that really ticks me off.
Well, again, it's another one of those honors she's been given that doesn't really mean much. It's like Hillary Clinton in one of the latest poll, in this case the Harvard-Harris poll,
right,
done by that fellow who was her pollster years and years ago. But Hillary now, if they mix in John Kerry in just the right way to draw votes away from Biden, they can claim that Hillary, by 1 point, is now leading in that Democratic preference poll to be president. Hillary's back. The only problem is she's now missed all of the deadlines to qualify for the primaries, so I don't know if she'll ever be able to run for much.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's not there to run. I'll tell you what she's there for. She's there to be a king or queen maker. She's there, just like Blomberg, to try to damage Trump enough with his newspaper. In fact, the FEC are going after Bloomberg for saying we're not going to sanction any Democratic bad stuff or anything. We're going to go after Republicans. So the FEC are actually pursuing Bloomberg for saying he's using his paper and his media empire as a weapon against conservatives. That's how crazy this is. This is a banana republic, is what it's becoming. It's totalitarianism.
The good news with Bloomberg is, thanks to the Marmouth poll and several other reputable polls, it's now clear that he gets twice as many or twice negative ratings from people in polls as positive ratings. He is dismal. He is almost despised by the average voter in this country. They don't trust him. They don't like him. He is arrogant. He is smug. He claims to be superior to all the rest of us.
Well, the thing is, if you're
a Democratic candidate should not be.
If you're going to demonstrate you have a superior intellect, you have to have a superior heart. In other words, this man doesn't have heart. When he's telling somebody you can't have a big gulp because I'm going to determine what you can and cannot eat. When he does one thing which Rudy Giuliani did and actually succeeds in reducing crime in black and Hispanic sub-communities in his district, he's now apologizing for that.
Yeah, he's recanted for the one really good constructive thing he did.
Yeah, and he only did was just take what Rudy Giuliani started and amplify it. And now he's trying to pull back. I mean, this guy is... this is a good example of what I call a predator class.
He has pulled back. He continues to want to take your guns. He now wants the borders to be open, which was not his position before. I mean, he's just another give them all away Democrats. But the problem is he has enough money. He is so rich at about $53 billion that he could spend $150 million a day advertising himself. That's more than most candidates will have through the entire campaign.
See, there has to be not only executive order, but legislative. Once Trump gets back in the House, Senate, and him, they need to pass legislation that does three things. Number one, it stops the musical chairs between government and industry, so they can't lobby. That'll kill the district. They're criminals. Number two, they have to stop this private money stuff being poured in to actually push people into elected office because they've got billions in the bank. They become the billionaire professors. Now, Donald Trump didn't.
Right. We're going to wind up with a classic plutocracy because only the rich can afford to run.
Exactly. And the thing is, look at Kamala Harris. I mean, she was only negative enough. She couldn't even get the donations, but that's what should happen. If people don't want to donate, you don't even get nominated. But the problem is when you got a billionaire, even if they're a moron.
Kamala Harris dropped out. Technically, she was qualified to be in the December 19th debate,
right,
which I'm now calling the White Christmas debate. Apparently, the Asian American who's running, what's his name, Yang, who's probably the most innovative person of all the Democrats running, probably has half the IQ points of everyone you see on stage. He nevertheless has just barely by the skin of his teeth qualified for the debate if he wishes to be there.
Right.
The Hawaiian who is running,
Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard, who is a Hindu by upbringing. She's from Polynesia, not Hawaii, but she represents Hawaii in the Congress. She has said even if she qualifies for the debate, she will not go to it because she was in the last debate and they gave her, about 1 minute in 2 hours to talk.
Right. Well, I think that our political system is broken. And it's broken in the sense, for example, look what's going on with the Congress now with Schiff and now Nadler and Nancy Pelosi. You see, it's not just trying to damage Trump, it's damaging the idea of representative government and oppositional powers between the executive, legislative, and the judicial branch. And so it damages future presidents that won't even have a private conversation. You can turn it into an impeachable offense. If you don't like what's said, you can get the transcript, right? So, we got to understand.
Every nightmare that Alexander Hamilton anticipated 200 years ago in the constitutional papers, he expected impeachment.
I know what the color is for 2020. It's called... The color for 2020 is orange for the jumpsuits for all these people when they go to prison. How's that?
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Legacy Emergency Foods is the top recommendation from Dr. Bill Deagle for the lowest oxygen concentration, the largest entrees, the highest amount of protein, the most varied entrees as well, and the longest food storage life. Nothing like Legacy Emergency Foods, and if you place a regular monthly order, you get 20% off and free shipping. Do get Emergency Foods for your supply for preparation, and get it from Legacy Foods. Contact Dr. Bill Deagle for the link at NutriMedical.com. Go to the Shop by Products link and drop down message at NutriMedical.com, and then place your orders for regular emergency food for yourself and your family. Nothing like emergency food if the power goes out and you can't go to grocery stores, or if there's an emergency or a national crisis. So NutriMedical.com, top recommendation, Legacy Foods. NutriMedical.com, go to the Shop by Products and drop down menu, and stay well with NutriMedical every day of your life. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with the providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapy throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance, but Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer and vascular inflammation and plaque and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
So, here's what I see happening in 2020, and there's multiple vectors here going on. One of my dear friends, Dr. Ron Klatz, and his friend Dr. Bob Goldman, I know both of them. They founded A4M, the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, 26 years ago. In fact, I was in Las Vegas last year at the 25th anniversary, and it was the biggest meeting of the A4M Congress. And they had, I think, 7,000 people at the Congress, right, in Las Vegas. And I did a presentation there, too, by the way, on the Song of DNA. What people need to understand is Bob has brought a breakthrough to Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump, so I'm going to probably be able to contact him directly. And we got to get information through to him because, Trump has got a good heart. He wants to do the right things. But there are things that he's screwing up on, probably because he's got a bad intel, or the people around him are either evil, or they're knuckleheads, or they have a different agenda. For example, a year or so ago, when he sent Tomahawk missiles into Syria, they actually suppressed data, which was also on Fox News recently, on Tucker Carlson, that they knew within a matter of weeks that there's no chlorine residue, indicating there were no chemical weapons used by Bashar al-Assad against his own people. Now, the White Hats in Britain were working with the British to try to make sure that happened. Now, so Trump luckily didn't listen to McMaster to put 250,000 troops in Syria and cause a problem. He, unfortunately, I don't know who's advising, but he pulled out and left the Kurds in a hanging, and now they're moving troops back in there. I don't know why they're protecting the oil fields for the Turks, because the Turks have no right to that oil. That was where the Kurds were. So Trump's doing a few things that can be adjusted, but he's doing a lot of great things. I mean, look at the economy. Look at the trade deals he's got, the USMC. And look, I couldn't believe that today Nancy Pelosi's trying to take credit because they tweaked some minor things in it. They're not going to get any points from this, are they? What do you think, Lowell?
I would hope they're not getting any points. I mean, between 13 and 14 months ago, Trump already had this done. This was a done deal. And for Nancy Pelosi now, she's the one who's held it up all this time, who's wrecked the economy, cost millions of people jobs, cost millions of people improved income, and now she's going to step in and try to take credit because she's letting it finally take effect.
Well, I'm going to open up a can. I'm going to go open a can of worms on the show, and you're brilliant, so we're going to kind of pull this apart. Have you ever heard of this guy by the name of QAnon?
QAnon?
QAnon, yeah. One of the Fox News broadcasters actually brought up Q on the show this last weekend. Right? One of the smarter ones, actually. I won't tell you his name right now. I'll read off the bat. But the QAnon is the guy that's putting those. He's got a huge following, but he's not identified who he is. And his basic thesis is about the New World Order. He's got an amalgamation of different theories. But one of the primary theories is a lot of the people that are involved that are actually prosecuting this are Luciferic pedophiles. Now, I got to tell you, he's on the right track. For example, when Bill Clinton admits that he's only been like once over to, we called Epstein's Island, we have the actual records. He's gone there 27 times, and that includes Hillary, by the way. We have the records of now 4 women who were abused at underage by this Prince Andrew. Now, you got to understand who Epstein is. Now, why is this important? It's because I have my sources and evidence, including classified sources and intel, that Nancy Pelosi's involved with what's called Pedogate, with John Podesta and all those other maniacs.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a very evil person. When I hear her saying she's praying, yes, she's correct, but she's spelling it wrong. She's P-R-E-Y-I-N-G. She's not P-R-A-Y-I-N-G. She's preying on us. Okay?
Yep.
And you got to understand these people, they are lost brothers and sisters, literally transdimensionally indwelt by evil.
Oh, no, and this evil has gone on for a long time. For example, I remember back when Bill and Hillary were in the White House and running for re-election, and one of their significant sources of money was the chief of prostitution in Macau,
right,
off Hong Kong. He was giving them bag loads of like $400,000 at a time,
right,
to run with. And they were happily accepting it at the same time Hillary was telling you what a hero she was protecting innocent women and girls.
Which is bizarre because, to be honest with you, if you actually look at women's issues, she's not protecting women at all. If anything, the women that were involved with Bill that were abused by him, she actually threatened legal suits and actually death.
Oh, sure. She is in every sense an enabler.
Right, and not only that, she was she's what I call, her and Bill are primary prosecutors of what's called fostercide. Have you ever heard of that means of murder? Like Vince Foster, apparently when they did the autopsy and so on, I'm a forensic doctor too, by the way, forensic pathology for crimes, and the way he died and the manner he died with, the gunpowder prints and the position of his body in the middle of the park and so on, even if you were a master gymnast from Cirque du Soleil, you couldn't have done what this guy did, shooting himself multiple times and dying hundreds of yards away without powder burns. I mean, it's nuts. Forensically, it's not possible. Just like when they killed Epstein, and I refer to him as Agent Epstein. So when you hear Nancy Pelosi saying these things, and you see Schiff, and by the way, Schiff is you remember now, not all homosexuals are as violent and weird as this guy, but this guy abuses his homosexual partner like crazy, and his partners come out publicly and accuse Schiff. Now look at Schiff, this guy, you can tell looking at his poppy eyes, he's not normal. You can see him popping his eyes like, man, I got a really big sucker demon inside of me. He's weird, okay? And he's violent. I think he's supposed to have some kind of legal background, but if you look at each of these people that are really weird, and by the way, on the other side too. For example, this Mormon guy that's always attacking Trump and taking shots at him from the side like he had this fake name and everything. You have to understand, high-level Mormonism is high-level Masonry. And the Second World War, the Rothschilds rescued the Mormons from going totally bankrupt because they made a bad investment in sugar plantation in Hawaii. So there's direct evil connections at the top of the Mormon Church. And the Mormon Church, and people need to know this, if you're Mormon, you may not know this, but you know there's actually a throne room for Lucifer in the Salt Lake City Temple? I know. I took care of Temple Mormons for years. I was their doctor. I had 22,500 Mormons. I found out the ugliest facts about Mormonism. Okay? You're not going to hear this anywhere else. You're going to hear it from Deagle, because I said I will die for you.
White salamander, right?
Right. I will die for you, but I will not lie to you, even if it kills me. All right? Mm-hmm. Right. So people need to know, when I hear Nancy Pelosi, I call her now, she's such a lousy person. Now I'm praying for her soul, because when she dies, she's going to be annihilated unless she repents. Now, there's mass murderers on death row that are going to repent, and they're going to be in heaven. There's killers, rapists, they're going to make it to heaven. There's people you think are nice, they're not going to make it, because they do good works and they do evil. For example, when you see the Shriners, or you see lots of high-level Masons, people don't get this. It says in the Bible, do not be deceived, because Satan himself can be transformed to an angel of light. Satan, 90 to 95% of what Satan does is good. It looks great. It doesn't have a bad taste, smell, or anything. 5 to 10% oh my gosh. People need to know that. They have to know that every high-level Mason does the same damn thing. They do good and evil, don't they?
Well, I think the scripture is the devil has the power to appear as an angel of light.
They appear because they do it.
Not actually to be an angel of light.
No, they don't. But appearance means they're not doing that of the will of God, you see. I tell people the only way to do good is to do God, meaning he's telling you what to do, and then an extra O. But when Satan does it, he wants it to appear good because it has good effects, whether it's, better economy or food on your table or whatever the heck it is. And then it always has a twist in it. Get like the knife going in, it didn't hurt too bad, and then he twists it. Oh, that hurts. Okay? So you're absolutely correct, but you have to understand this, that these politicians, and by the way, they're on the left and the right. And it's not because Trump is perfect, because Trump's father was a high-level Scottish Rite Mason. He made not just billions, but trillions, doing lots of weird things, which we'll talk about in some of the videos. But you have to understand, Trump has, developed over time. He's pro-life. He's pro-religious talk. Even folks in the family calls him a baby Christian. I think he's in the pre-state where if he gets a chance to talk to people like you and me and Jerry Barrett, who's just on today on the next hour, or John W. Spring, who's a Christian whistleblower in 1960, 1983, we're going to make this man the greatest leader on earth since King David repented after killing Uriah and taking his wife Bathsheba and having Solomon. Donald Trump, even though he's done some lascivious things in the past, this man, you can see by his actions, is, in a sense, in a pre-repentant state. How's that? He's repenting about some things, but he's still screwed up. That's why he's listening to advisors say, hey, push 5G network. He's not even identifying the fact that the drug cartels are run by SAD, Special Activity Division, who run the state of It's a Real Hell, Israel, and Saudi Arabia and the Arab Emirates and Qatar. Do you know they're run by Saad? Even through their connections to the CFR and the Trilateral Commission, Europe is totally manufactured by post-World War by these same globalists. They're not autonomously driven by European nations wanting to amalgamate the way they do.
So should we view Trump's action this week as positive when he issued an executive order to try to drive anti-Semitism off college campuses in the U.S.?
Of course you should. Now, again, remember, I have Semitic blood myself, and God says when I return, this is in the book of Psalms, 1/3 of Jews, or Hebrews, will repent and turn back toward me when they see the one they have pierced. I don't know what the ratio is for the rest of the human race, but I think 1/3 is pretty dang good. And I have to tell you right now, when I talk to Jews, for example, my Jewish friend, Dr. Ron Klatz and Dr. Bob Goldman and other Jews, I get fellowship with them, and I get these people converted to become believers. And they can say, yeah, well, you got the blood, man. You worship Yeshua HaMashiach. I don't even call him Jesus, because the word Jesus, I think, is like a bastardization of who he really was. He was God, eternal God, indwelling in flesh. He's not a separate God. If you have a masseuse on your door, there's only one God, not three. Three was invented by...
Well, Jesus was a Greek transform of the word Yeshua.
Right.
Which is the Hebrew word for Joshua.
Yeah, but what they did is they said they manipulated into three gods, and if you get to the 17th level of the York Rite, you're taught the ineffable name of God is Yahashua, Yah, the breath that creates everything, Baal, the owner of all property and driver of legal law, and Osiris, the god of the underworld, which, by the way, his birth date is, bell please, Christmas. In fact, if you see Santa Claus, he wears the exact same garb as a pope when he's being put in the ground. Did you know that? Santa and a dying pope look identical. If you see the garb they put on the pope when they're going to put him in the ground. Did you know that?
And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that Santa has the same letters in it as Satan.
Right. That's why, do you know that there's a satanic altar and chapel in Vatican City to worship Lucifer? Did you know that? And they actually sing songs in Latin. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Doug Deagle knows everything. You know that when I told my story to the nuns when I was 8.5 years old, they went into the Monsignor and the Cardinal and the Archbishop, it went all the way to the Vatican. So on my day of graduation in 1977, I had a priest come up to me. In my graduation, I didn't invite and offered me to become a physician for the Pope and the Cardinals in Vatican City. Did you know that? These buggers were keeping their eye on me. That's why 28 years ago, the Pindar came to me directly in the flesh and told me about my daughter, that he was going to touch her heart. And I said, I have 3 sons. That day I did a pregnancy test. 6 weeks later, I'm sitting in the ultrasound room, and I'm one of the first doctors trained on it. And it was nuchal thickening endocardial cushion defect. My most dried up. I realized I'd been met by a minion of Satan himself, face to face in the flesh. And he wanted me to be his understudy. So he saw where Deagle was going, that I'm going to have like these media effects and geniuses like yourself on and expose people. For example, one of the letters I got back, notices I got back last night, was from my video presentation I did with Greg Ford, who's a believer, an intel agent they renditioned in Iraq and knows about 9/11. In fact, tomorrow I have Susan Lindauer, another believer, on the show. She said she believes in God. And you know what this guy said in his thing? I'll summarize it. He said he couldn't believe that I actually gave a witness that when I flew in with the Prophecy Club to Portland, Oregon in 1999, 21 years ago, I went to each city and I would give them a prophecy over the city. So I saw 2 things. I saw them taking the buckskin-wrapped female squaw, and the Indians were doing a drum dance and threw her into the open maw of the volcano at Mount Hood. And the second thing I saw was rail cars being converted to, with shackles being put for humans. This guy last night emailed me back and a message on there because I gave this witness. He was in a train not long ago, and the guy was bawling his head off because he just put in 40,000 shackles in North Dakota. You need to know, this is real, people. This is not a rehearsal.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations for referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing Nutri-Complete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit-flavored mixed power of vitamin minerals. Stay well with NutriMedical every day. Only took the supplements, didn't do anything else. These kind of things happen to me all the time. Okay? Yeah. God has his hand on you if you're getting healed. That's his hand on you. Welcome back. So, you know, when I see these machinations, I'm praying for our President POTUS. I'm praying for even people that do evil like Podesta and Nancy Pelosi and these other people, because God's bring a harvest of people to not only his physical kingdom to have extended lifespan and get rid of disease and stabilize the world economy. Because remember, from the movie The Big Short, for every percentage drop in the unemployment rate, you know, in the stock market, I think they said something like 40,000 people die. They don't just have a bad day. When the economy crashes, people starve to death, get hypothermia, or commit suicide, etc. God is going to rescue much of the human race to be his children in eternity, not just in the physical realm, because it's our destiny to become the Queen of Heavens, which means physically the descendants of humans will be spread across the cosmos as the bride of the Most High God. That's why he's coming back for marriage. He's marrying the saved part of the human race that actually are going to be his bride, not an individual like the stupid Mormons where you're a god. He's going to indwell us so we become only capable of good. And in fact, that's what the marriage supper is. That's what the tribulation is. The devil's final spasms of evil that he's doing right now on earth. That's why you see so many exorcisms all over the world. You see so much damned evil and protests. And people are starting to wake up to realize that we're created in the image of the Creator God. We have a three-level being. We have a entropic being that lives in the world of time-space. We have a negentropic being, our soul, that exists in the realm of the consciousness. And we have the seed atom of the Creator. A tiny portion of the Creator himself, of eternity, is in all of us. The little baby in utero and the 99-year-old grandma. People need to know that. We're not just a little animal down on earth and we're going to die and it's kind of useless. Well, too bad. Why did you even evolve and exist on the planet? And people need to realize, even though they got the date wrong, it's all screwed up, and I still celebrate Christmas, but I realize the total thing is the Luciferic celebration of God Osiris, the god of the underworld, otherwise known as Lucifer, because this narcissistic maniac, who's the most intelligent created being, is gripping our world and trying to kill most of us through enviromaniacs, toxic pollution, toxic drugs, 5G network, and everything else, because he can't stand the fact that we're going to become the bride of the Creator. That's what's going on, isn't it?
I would think so. I mean, we have a saving remnant around us. You're a good example of that.
Well, not only that, you see, God told me, he actually told me years ago, he was going to give me and my colleagues that are working with and through me the years of Methuselah back. Guess what? 5 years ago, he told me the only time you don't age is in utero, when you're a fetus, and the placenta gives you all the biomolecules. I got the patent in July. Now, U.S. patent, the only one in the world that actually gives you molecules to stop aging, red deer velvet. I have other technology like oncomycin, myco-D2, the first receptor. God has given me, first lecture I gave when he actually started giving me this information almost 40 years ago, I presented Dr. Rowland's called Full-on Major Cytogenetics. This last 2 years and the last few months, I've actually invented, through God's inspiration, the Sabbath Adenic frequencies that stimulate your DNA to make you live 900 plus years. I have that now. I'm not 10 years away or 5 years away or 2 months away. I have it today. And that's not because of me, because I'm so wonderful. I'm just subservient. I mean, I'm trying to be a good son and do what he wants done, not what I want, because I won't even pray on stuff unless God tells you. He's told me when I want to pray on stuff, he said, don't do that, Deagle, because you'll have the burden of the knowledge of that without my will, without my blessing. When Trump got elected, I said, is Trump the Antichrist or the one to introduce it? And God said, after months, don't ask me, Bill, because I'll tell you. And I was bugging him to actually in dreams and visions, and finally he audibly talked to me. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm a rational person thinking, oh my gosh, just like he dictated the book Clay and Iron, Abortion, Armageddon almost 30 years ago to me. I traveled 21 years ago with the Prophecy Club. People need to know these things really do happen. It's all through the Bible, but they don't want to believe that some of us are going to be called to do dirty jobs. Like they got this micro dirty jobs. I got one of the dirtiest jobs in history because I got to tell my brothers and sisters to save their hide, things they don't want to hear, and they think, well, I'm really a narcissistic egomaniac. No, I'm not. I'm saved by the blood of Jesus, Yeshua, Father in the flesh. He had to crush my ego down to make a fragrant perfume to his nostrils. And let me tell you, we're in such trouble now, we can't even imagine how bad things are going to get. Did you know that next year I have all the evidence they're going to start chipping the U.S. population and have biometric cameras installed in every state line in every country on earth this next year, 2020? In other words, the final step-by-step layers of the mark of the beast are coming in 2020. Damn it. I didn't want to know this, but I do now. My intel sources all converged on me in the last few weeks, and I got all the evidence. It's not good. Why do you think they're in a panic to get rid of Trump? Because if he gets space defense with the Space Force, if he gets cybernetic defense with the technology that Greg Ford has for cybernetic protection of our internet and our military bases and our power grid and our air traffic controllers and so on. If he gets biological defenses, which I have against bioweapons, I'm a bioweaponeer expert par excellence. And I can even do radionic suppression of bioweapons. We don't need to subsist or surrender to a world government, which is what they want to set Trump up or a future president to do. With the dangers of EMP, the weapon of indignation. So, what I'd like you to do in this last segment is ask the toughest question you'd ask for a man who has God on speed dial. Ask a question. Doesn't matter what it is. Ask me any question on earth, and I will try to give you either an answer or break the problem down to its constituent parts. Because believe me, they need to get your book, because you speak truth, because you're not just Lowell Ponte, you're Apostle Lowell Ponte. Just like I have Apostle John W. Spring, Apostle, Jerry Bear, Apostle Susan Lind, female Apostle Susan Linder. They're not just all males, by the way. These are people called to speak truth, and they tell me, she said to me now, when I come on air, make sure you understand I'm a believer. God comes first. You know she said that to me? She's brave enough because she's a believer. Isn't that wild?
That is wild. No, I'm glad you reminded me of that. The book Money, Morality, and the Machine we are giving away for this Christmas season. Give people a wonderful stocking stuffer, and it will not cost you a penny. All you need to do is just call, and my co-author, this is our 7th book together, you see him about once a week on with Neil Cavuto on Fox Business. The book, to get it, you just call a toll-free number, 800. Well, that won't cost you a penny either. So we'll pay the shipping. We'll pay for the phone call to 800-630-1492, like the year Columbus sailed the ocean blue. That's 800-630-1492. And among other things, it has a whole chapter called Totally Devoted in it, about how they're taking away your ability to vote in any relevant way. You've seen some of that surrealism going on with the Schiff Committee and now the Nadler Committee, where they just say, we will not allow the Republicans to bring witnesses, even though the whole House voted to authorize it. We are going to control what questions you can ask, who you can ask them of. We will not allow you to try to inquire into some of our secret witnesses, such as the whistleblower, so-called.
Well, they don't want representative democracy because, you see, there's two empires in history that actually are literally get their authority by God through his people to delegate it to their leaders. Ancient Israel and modern America. We are founded by God. We aren't giving our power by an emperor or a king or something else. It's completely unique what these two nations are, ancient Israel and modern America. No other nation is like that. Not Canada, not Britain, not Australia, not New Zealand, not Bulgaria or Russia. No other nation is received their authority from the Creator, and that's why when it even talks about the Constitution and so on, people need to know, although there's some Luciferic principles behind there because they met at the Green Dragon Pub, America was funded by God, and right now we now have this duality. We have the Ishtar statue in the harbor in New York. They call the Statue of Libertas. It's a statue of the whore of Babylon. That's why the Bible talks about this whore of Babylon, her day of destruction is coming. In one day shall come her destruction. Well, I can read to you the first chapter of the Small Scroll, which is for America. And let me tell you, if we don't repent, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. I was thinking
just before the show, there's an interesting parallel right now. The left has begun a major rhetorical push saying Israel should surrender because basically its land belongs to the Palestinians, and America should surrender because our land belongs to Latin Americans. In other words, both of us, we have no claim on the land here, which of course is measurably ridiculous.
Well, the whole idea is
other people's claim on the land is based on anyway.
Well, the whole idea is based on the idea that they don't want America to have any kind of future. They don't want us to have any kind of claim on the real nature of that God founded this nation purposely to become a witness to Him at the time of the end. That's what's going on right now. So people need to start understanding that that's the situation. We have a society where we are both the daughter of Babylon, Mystery Babylon. We are the daughter of Zion. That's why I refer to America as Ephraim America. Ephraim America. we're like the 10 tribes that were apostate. Because of apostasy, we're taken away to Esfahan, and the leader of the Kohenic tribes bloodline of Moses married the daughter of the king of the Medes, right? And that's where the Magi came from, that used biblical astrology to even predict the coming of the Messiah as the Father in the flesh. And that's why the Magi were my ancestors. I'm a blood descendant of the king of the Medes through the family line of Nimas. People need to know this. Why is this the case right now? Because this is the end of the age. Mankind is not going to make it beyond this either. If we don't repent to God, the nation of America, a century from now, if there's any residual human beings left on the planet, will think it's a legend that America even existed. That's how bad it'll be.
No, let's not forget, Abraham was from Ur in the Chaldees.
Right.
He was from the Tigris and Euphrates area.
Right.
He was not originally from Israel, but he came there and was given that land.
Right. Right. It's very probable Abraham was a, if you want to call it, Kurd, which is why what recently happened with the Kurds, even with Donald Trump, he screwed up because of his advisors, and the Kurds were turned over. Remember, the Medo-Persians are Kurds. They're not Arabs. They're Caucasians from western Iran, in the area near the Bashar reactor of the capital of their ancient kingdom was called Esfahan. People need to know this. They don't know it, do they?
A great place for making rugs nowadays.
Right.
The interesting thing, too, is Salah ad-Din, the great Arab general during the time of our crusades in the Middle East there, about 1,000 years ago.
Right.
He also was a Kurd.
Right. Do you know why they were Kurds? Because they believed in the same God as the ancient Jews, because people need to know this. The Kohanim are not Jews. The Kohanim are Ephraimites. Do you know that?
I did not, but yet they are.
Jews are half tribe of Benjamin, the half tribe of Benjamin, because the other half were killed because they brought false fire into the temple, and God had the Kohanim kill half of the men. So the half tribe of Benjamin joined the Jews and became the amalgamated Jews, or actually Benjamin and Judah. Did you know that?
No, and Moses was not a Kohanim; he was a Levite. The Levites were of course the priestly class who were the servants of the Kohanim in religious ceremony.
Well, no. The thing is, Aaron was his brother, but the Kohanim had 24 families in the cycle. There was only one family that were the Mosaic line from Moses, and that were they called the Lamed line, or the head line of the rotating cycle, were Mosaic. The others were all Aaronic. Do you know that? All other 23 lines, circulating lines, were Aaronic, and the only line that was Mosaic was the line of Moses. Interesting, hey?
And you were there, figuratively speaking.
Well, my ancestors were there, and that's why I'm here today speaking to you now, because we don't repent. Much of America will die in a thermonuclear flash or an EMP attack or whatever, biological, because we have not repented. Our nation has done great good and great evil. And God's going to bring grace to you right now, today, or if you reject that grace, He's going to bring great judgment. That's what's coming.
Which was most